August the 17th, 1995, San Siro. The legendary AC Milan manager Fabio Capello is crying. In the center of the pitch, a 30-year-old man in a brown suede jacket is waving goodbye. He isn't doing a lap of honor. He's barely walking. This was Marco van Basten. At age 28, while most strikers are entering their physical prime, Van Basten was already a ghost. He won 3 Ballon d'Ors before the age of 28, a feat only matched by Cruyff, Platini, and Messi. He was the most complete number 9 the game had ever seen, two-footed, dominant in the air, and tactically superior to every defender in Serie A. But behind the trophies was a medical nightmare that started when he was just a teenager. Today, we look at the rise and the devastatingly early fall of the Swan of Utrecht.
Marco van Basten's career began with a symbolic torch passing. In 1982, he made his debut for Ajax, coming on as a substitute for none other than Johan Cruyff. He scored within 15 minutes. Van Basten wasn't just a poacher, he was a technical anomaly. Standing 6'2", he had the height of a target man, but the agility of a winger. Between 1982 and 1987, he turned the Eredivisie into his personal playground. The numbers: 128 goals in 133 appearances. The achievements: 4 consecutive seasons as the league's top scorer. In 1987, he scored the winning goal in the European Cup Winners' Cup final. He had outgrown Holland. It was time for the biggest challenge in world football: Arrigo Sacchi's AC Milan.
When Van Basten arrived at Milan in 1987, Serie A was the NBA of football. It was the toughest, most defensive league in history. To succeed there, you had to be more than talented. You had to be resilient. Alongside Ruud Gullit and Frank Rijkaard, Van Basten turned Milan into the Immortals. They won back-to-back European Cups in 1989 and 1990. Van Basten wasn't just scoring, he was embarrassing the world's best defenders. But his defining moment came in the summer of 1988. The European Championship final, Netherlands versus USSR. From an impossible angle on the right side of the penalty area, Van Basten hit a looping volley that defied physics. It remains, arguably, the greatest goal ever scored in a major final. He finished the tournament as the top scorer and the best player in the world. By 1992, he had reached his peak. He scored 4 goals in a single Champions League game against Gothenburg and was awarded his 3rd Ballon d'Or. He was on top of the world, but his ankles were already made of glass.
To understand why Van Basten retired so early, we have to go back to 1986. During a match against Groningen, Van Basten suffered a heavy tackle that severely damaged his right ankle. He wanted surgery immediately, but Johan Cruyff, then his manager, reportedly pushed him to keep playing because Ajax needed him for the Cup Winners' Cup. This was the beginning of the end. Van Basten played through the pain for years, taking injections and ignoring the swelling. By the time he was at Milan, the cartilage in his ankle was gone. It was bone rubbing against bone. Every step was agony. Between 1987 and 1993, he underwent 4 major surgeries. Surgeons tried everything: scraping the bone, pinning the joint, even attempting to regrow cartilage. The 1993 Champions League final against Marseille was his final stand. He was only 28 years old. He played the full 90 minutes, but he was a shadow of himself.
He never played a professional game again. He spent the next 2 years trying to recover, but in 1995, he finally gave up. The damage was so severe that he couldn't even play a game of football in his backyard with his children. He once famously said that at his lowest point, he had to crawl to the bathroom at night because he couldn't put weight on his foot. Marco van Basten finished his career with 218 goals in 280 club games. If he had played until he was 35, like Ibrahimovic or Ronaldo, his numbers would likely be untouchable. He didn't just win trophies. He changed how the number 9 role was played. He was the blueprint for the modern striker. Mobile, clinical, and intelligent. His retirement remains football's greatest what if. What if he had the medical technology of 2026? What if he hadn't played through the injury in 1986? We'll never know. All we have is the footage of a man who made the hardest sport in the world look like art before his own body decided it had had enough. If Van Basten had stayed fit, would he be considered the greatest striker of all time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into football's most incredible stories and football history. Thanks for watching.